But the biggest thing to take away from all of this is that all that matters is calories in and calories out. What is going on, guys? Coming back with another video. My name's Tim. If you don't already know, welcome to Fournier Fit. Like, comment, subscribe this video already. I'm gonna get going. So today we're gonna talk about how to start your fitness journey. So the first question to ask yourself is, how much motivation do you currently have right now? Are you prepared to go to the gym 3 times a week, 2 times a week, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times? And that leads into how disciplined are you? This is something that I struggled with early on. I'm in college, things would pop up. I would be tired some days from class and work or whatever, and I wouldn't want to go. But the thing that really helped me is, one tip that I can give to people, is I made it a point to go every single day to the gym for 3 weeks straight, every single day. This just cemented it into my routine, and you know, maybe this is a little bit too extreme for people to go every single day for 3 weeks, but pick a time period to go every single day and just lock it down into your routine and find when you have time to do it. The next thing to figure out is to self-analyze what your starting point is. For me, I always grew up bigger. I played football. I was 5'10", 255 in high school, and I started losing weight, and I started to figure out that I really wanted to get really serious about this, and I realized that I wanted to lose weight. For some people, they might be really skinny and they really want to gain weight, and they want to gain muscle in particular. And some people, they're in a mix of both. Yeah, that's being known as skinny fat, where you don't really have that much muscle, but you still have some body fat, and you don't really know if you should be trying to lose weight or gain weight, and you're kind of stuck in the middle. This is where it comes into your long-term and short-term goals. If you're just trying to look better for the summer, you might change what you're doing, versus if you're really gonna hunker down and be in this for the long term. If you're stuck in the middle of the two and you're skinny fat and you want to build muscle, but you also think maybe you have too much fat and you want to cut. If you're just trying to look better for something in a month, then maybe cutting would be the answer for you. You got to keep in mind, everyone's fitness journey is different. Everything is personalized for everyone. That goes for what works for you, what your goals are, and where you start. So if you have a more short-term goal, maybe you just want to lose some weight if you're in that position, and you want to try and follow like the cutting plan. But I would highly recommend, if you are that skinny fat, that you actually want to bulk and put on muscle. Bulking can be kind of a scary word, because people a lot of times just think that means you eat everything and everything you possibly can, but it's still important to eat properly. So that's kind of what you should do if you're skinny fat. But if you are skinny, then it's more important to go into a proper lean bulk and keep that leanness and just gain muscle. But for me, like I said, I came from being bigger, so I wanted to lose weight, and that was my first main goal. And my cutting phase is actually where I am at now too. So I'll have more content coming out on that. The first thing to do is to nail down your diet. And the first step for that is to find your maintenance calories. The best thing to do for this is to use a calorie calculator that you can just find anywhere online, and it'll put in your gender, your weight, your age, and your activity level, and it'll spit out your maintenance and how much you need to eat to gain or lose on a given day. For me, with my activity level, my maintenance is around 3,200 calories. I highly recommend to take 1 week when you start your fitness journey and try to eat this number of calories every single day for 1 week. Make sure it is really your maintenance calories. These calculators aren't always perfect, but if you can eat there and you see that your weight does not go up or down, then you can find out that that is your calories based on your body and your activity level. So take that 1 week, and this will also give you a chance to practice tracking. My favorite app for this is called MyFitnessPal, and it allows you to track all of your food. It makes it easy when you can scan the barcodes. And I also recommend getting a food scale, so you can see how many grams or ounces or whatever of what foods you're eating, and paying attention to the labeling on the foods, so you can see the nutrition facts and see how many calories it is. The two main things that I look at are calories and protein. I highly recommend that whether you're bulking or cutting, that you maintain about a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So what that means for me, I am 215 pounds right now, so I need to have around 215 grams of protein per day to maintain and build muscle. So going back to the bulking and cutting topic, that may have been a little bit confusing before. The biggest thing to remember is that whether you're gaining weight or losing weight, all that matters is calories in and calories out. This matters with how much food you're eating, calories in, and your energy expenditure, which is your calories out. If you're eating more calories than you're expending, then you will gain weight. And if you're eating less calories than you're expending, you'll lose weight. Now keep in mind, this is weight, not necessarily muscle or fat, which is why, as we just talked about, it's very important to keep that protein really high so you can either maintain or build muscle. For me, once I heard about this and I still had weight that I wanted to lose, I immediately tried to just eat as little as I could, thinking it would just lose the fastest amount of weight possible. And at first this was true. I started to rapidly lose weight and it was really good, but I would start hitting these plateaus which were not helpful, and it wasn't like I wouldn't look as good at that body weight as I should have if I had gone slower, if that makes sense. I can show pictures here and here of being the same body weight, but the second one looks much better. And you'll wonder why if it's the same body weight. The first one is when I was rapidly declining my calories, and I wouldn't retain as much muscle. I didn't have as much muscle, so it would look worse. And once I started to come back up in my calories and I weighed the same weight, I would look much better. So now, after a year of doing all this, I've realized that it's much more efficient to go eat at a smaller deficit so I can keep the muscle that I've built and look better in the process, and just have more energy and be able to eat better tasting foods, have more energy like I just said, and be able to have better workouts, and overall just live a much better lifestyle. For me, when I really first got into this and first started, I was so laser focused on just making the scale go down, I didn't realize that I was actually hurting. It wasn't the most efficient way to do it. I thought if I could just eat as little as possible, that was doing the most for my body I could. In reality, it was actually hurting the way I looked, like I showed in those pictures. So whether you're bulking or cutting, I recommend not eating into huge of a deficit or surplus. I recommend after that first week of maintenance tracking to bump it up 100 to 200 calories or down 100 to 200 calories depending on what your goals are, like we talked about before. And then getting your weight every week, seeing what your weight is after every week and basing it off of there. Let's say after 3 weeks of being in that 200 calorie deficit, you've been consistently losing weight, but then you start to plateau, then you can drop it another 100 to 200 and go from there. There's no set answer to any of this. Everyone's body is different, and it's important to just keep checking in and see how things are going. And sometimes this progress isn't always going to show up on the scale either. That's why I also recommend to always be taking pictures of your body and seeing you either, let's say, leaning out, or if you're growing, you can see your muscles growing, you can see yourself in the mirror and see your changes. A lot of times people don't even realize that they look that much different in 4 or 5 months time because they see themselves every day, and the difference every day is so small. I know this happened for me for sure. Like, I lost a ton of weight. I went from in a few months, like 230 to 215, 210, and I didn't really notice any difference. But then when I look back on the pictures, I can see that I look very different. So this is all just a very basic introduction to dieting, and I'll have a lot more content coming about this in the future. I'm very passionate about this, but the biggest thing to take away from all of this is that all that matters is calories in and calories out. Just made my ground turkey, rice, and fat-free cheese bowl. Looks great. Just simple meals like that, high protein. Just find small ways to make things less calories. Like the fat-free shredded cheese, you know, when it's all melted together, does it really taste that difference when you're also putting sauce on it? Just small changes like that can really go a long way. So the next portion of the fitness journey is finding a consistent training plan. So I highly recommend weight training. And I know this can be very intimidating for a lot of people who maybe you go to the gym, you don't exactly know what to do, you have like a couple ideas, you don't know what workouts are the best, what exercises are the best, what's the exact perfect form. And it's really important to go with a plan because it makes you feel very confident when you go in and you feel like you know what you're doing. I even created a workout plan that's basic and can go for a lot of people. DM me or DM me on Instagram or comment on this YouTube video and ask for it. I can send that over, no problem, and I can answer absolutely any questions anyone has. But long story short, with training, especially if you're just starting out, you really just need to be consistent. Really, any type of workout is going to make progress, especially in the beginning. So do things you enjoy, but do it consistently. That is the big thing. A lot of people ask about cardio. It's not like a necessity. I recommend it, especially if you're cutting and even if you're bulking. When you're cutting, this can be big in your energy or your calorie expenditure, so you can be in that deficit. But you also don't need to, kill yourself over cardio. You don't need to be sprinting and dying on the floor every time. A great workout that I tell people about for cardio is, go on a 8.5 incline on the treadmill and 3.5 speed and walk and watch a YouTube video on your phone for 20 to 30 minutes. Just supplementing that is very, very good and can go a long way as well. But no matter what you do, you need to stay consistent. You can have the greatest workout plan of all time, but if you don't stay consistent with it, it's not going to do anything. So if you can really lock in and stay consistent with whatever your training regimen is, then that's what's going to take you the farthest. And the other thing is to stay patient. You're not going to, work out super hard and be perfect at your diet for a week and all of a sudden be Chris Bumstead or have some crazy physique. It's going to take time. But the important thing is to find enjoyment in that, and that it's something that is hard. That once you start progressing and maybe other people start to notice and they point it out to you, that you can be so proud of what you've done. It's not an easy thing to do, but it becomes a lot easier and really motivating when you can start to see that the really hard thing you're doing is making a difference. It's changing your body, it's changing your attitude, it's changing your confidence. You can see just everything progressing, and that's what becomes really motivating. When I talked about earlier, when I really settled down and locked in and decided I was going to go to the gym every single day for 3 weeks, I started to see progress, and I started to get excited to go. I started to get excited to go and get a pump and see myself in the mirror and look better and better as time went on. And I got so hooked on it that I went every single day for like 25 days, and then I got sick, so I missed a couple days, and then I went right back into it, and I went for like another 25 days or something like that, and I got sick again. I was so focused on working out that I probably was hurting my body in the process. And then once I got sick that next time, I went like 54 days in a row, I think it was, to the gym every single day. I was so hooked on it, and that's what created my entire passion for lifting and fitness. And I think it's something so special that I just want to share with everyone. And that's why I made this video, to, give a general plan of something to follow. I would love to kind of break this video up more in the future and go really in depth on each kind of path, but I thought it'd be a cool way to share with people how to start and kind of give a wide variety of people some advice on how to start. But if there's 3 things you can take away from this, no matter what your starting point is and no matter what your goals are, it is to remember calories in, calories out, keeping your protein high, recommended 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and to stay consistent. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope you enjoyed the new intro. Put that in today. But that's it for the video. Fournier Fit, signing off. like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. Happy hunting.